Hello and welcome back. Today we are playing Gun Roots. That's the category it went under when it kind of placed really well in a challenge. I think this list got third in a challenge on Sunday, the 17th of March. But I'm not going to take too much time because if we talk about all the synergies this deck has, we'll be here all day in this intro. But mainly the key piece that we're focusing around is Insidious Roots. This card kind of popped off at the beginning when it was first spoiled. Kind of fell off because a lot of people are like, this deck either sucks or it's kind of hard to pilot because there's a lot of weird small things to give yourself micro advantages that you do have to pay attention in this deck when you play it. I make a couple mistakes throughout the video and hopefully you can kind of learn from my mistakes and see kind of my thought process through it. But the main thing that we're doing with this one and why we are Jund is we're revolving around this card, a card that we've seen pop off in multiple kind of big combo decks. We see it popped off in like a hardened scale style list. But basically this one has 1 mana, sacrifices creature, deals damage equal to its power to any target. If you have Tyvar and you down tick it and say, obviously we have a Roots in play at this point. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. If you have 2, you're going to go absolute bonkers with this. But if you have one of these in play and a Tyvar, the plant taps and adds a mana of any color. Tyvar allows you to do that the turn they come in, so it kind of gets away with summoning sickness. They can't attack, but they can still tap and add mana. And that's very important because if we're able to use that mana and grow our things, for example, say we use the first one, tap, add mana, say we exile this, we put a counter on it, it makes another one, that one can then tap for mana, and we can constantly get stuff out of our graveyard with it. We got a Cauldron, and if we can get those big enough and exile this Voldarian Thrill Seeker under Agatha's Soul Cauldron, we can give that ability to every single plant that we make because the plants get 1/1 counters. And now that we've turned our first plant into, say, like a 9/8 or something like that, or because we've given it additional counters off the Cauldron and whatever, we can now sacrifice it with a plant later to shoot our opponent for a ton. Outside of that, we're just going to go ahead and hop into the games. There's, again, like I said, a lot of synergies in the deck, and we'll just kind of hope they come up throughout the game, or we talk about it in the outro. So let's go ahead, dive in, and see what happens. That, I guess. Fail. I'm okay with drawing another land there. Normally I'm like, nah on that, but take a look. We're like digging for roots pretty much no matter what here. I'll need more land, I can tell you that right now. I don't want it. Oh, tap land. I feel like there has to be a counter spell here. Maybe a flash spell of some kind. Maybe a make disappear. Slam Tyvar, force him to have it. I'm looking to mill.
We're in this together.
Bring this back. Now 4/5. Nothing comes in. Wow. Brennan, I think you're playing blue-black wrong. Okay, maybe you agree. I don't think I've played against blue-black in a very long time in which they just did nothing for the first 3 turns. Like, no Fairy Mastermind. What's the other? Like, just nothing early. And then no Gix, no anything. Like, what were you holding? So weird. This is one of the few things where I'm kind of, like, questionable on what I'm supposed to do. The only problem is I have a lot of lands that enter tapped on turn 2 here, so I think I just start off with this. The hope's actually not that bad. Gives me 2 spells to cast on the next turn. Turns out, great matchup for it. Play my roots. Yes, I will take 1. Perfectly fine with taking 1 here. I can then now Rubble and Seed of Hope. Come on, Convoke Gamer. Do the combo. We know you have it. No? What? It's almost not fair if they don't have it. We can dig even deeper. Let that go. We'll play Rubble. If there's a permanent card that's a creature in here, a permanent card from among the mill cards in your hand. Okay, so we'll let this go. Leave Tyvar here. So we can mill Tyvar and then grab it back. No, it doesn't trigger our Insidious roots, but Tyvar next turn, down ticking, bring back this soul, making a token, letting us Urborg repost. Everything's looking great. They're basically taking a turn off. They leave up no red mana for the potential thing, I guess. It's pretty good. Problem is, I think our board in the next 2 turns is going to grow far beyond their control. But I could be wrong. Possible for me to be wrong. Kind of hope I'm not. Okay, that's a pretty cool card. We slam Tyvar. We know what Tyvar is here for. A -2. This goes into play. And it'll be the soul. Make a root. We do this. We grab back another soul, maybe? No, we grab back the Sorn. Play this. We back up. Self, I guess, here. And then no attack. We wait. Perfectly fine with doing some blocks here. Sure. It's really on this next turn that we feel pretty confident in our ability, although this Warden can technically answer our Tyvar if they do it. Are they going to Knight instead? I would personally Warden and take care of my Tyvar. Like, guarantee that you can. Can they do it anyway? They can do 1 scry. They find another creature that can do it, but they find too high cost of creatures to do it. So we are fine here. They leave on top. Must be another creature that they can play with haste or like a land per se. Cauldron's good. They might have actually just died. So these plants have counters on them. Therefore, Agatha's Soul Cauldron, exiling this Thrill Seeker is actually going to be a cannon for everything here. So let's play Cauldron. This is my first time doing like this combo, so please don't yell at me if I mess it up. Thrill Seeker. Triggers. What would I put a counter on? Might as well put it on the Soul of the Lost because it's the biggest creature as far. We have a lot of things going on. Let's go ahead and play down the Butler. Mill, mill, mill. There's things in the yard. What can we do? Realistically, we can shoot them for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 6 will probably hit. Yeah, let's go to combat here. Let's swing. Swing like this, I guess. That's what we wanted, weirdly enough. Now we do here. The counter here. Plus here. I guess we can realistically just another one. Me from the future. You know, I do this every now and then because I'm a big dum-dum. So here I am missing lethal. I'm aware I kind of caught it, and it was one of the things. I think I catch it at the end of this match. I'm not sure. I haven't got there, but editing, I wanted to hop in here because I know I don't hit it until I get to their turn cycle, and then I shoot one of their creatures like an idiot. But I just didn't expect them to let my Soul of the Lost make contact. So in my brain, they're still at 20 for whatever reason. But I have 6 damage off the Soul of the Lost because of the Agatha's Soul Cauldron having that ability on it. So I can sacrifice that, deal 6, sacrifice my 5 power 1, deal 5, and then sacrifice my 3 power 1 to deal the additional 3 that I need to get 14 exactly. And I have exactly 3 mana thanks to the Tyvar allowing me to tap my Summoning Sick plant for mana. So I do miss it, and I miss it for like a turn cycle. I think we get through their turn, and then I realize that I had it, and I'm just kind of a goof, but All right, we'll let the game play out from here. Wait, and then just pop all these on their turn, right? I don't have to do anything right now. We're at 19. You have a land? You have to have a land, right? What? What are you targeting there? Do it like this then? Sure. Huh? We'll just have to do math here. There'll be a blocker we can't deal with. We could technically shoot it, but there's no point. Sure. I think they're gonna go face with this though. Sure. They're going face. 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 No, Tyvar? Okay. Face. So face, face, Tyvar, face. Okay. We'll pass. We'll go to blocks. We'll throw a block here. Leave Tyvar alive. And we can sacrifice this to draw a card, actually. Sweet. What we got, opponent? Sure. My turn. Do this. Let's play this. Butler. Not really a whole lot to go on there. And then now I think it's just fire the cannon. Colorless. I'll shoot you for a ton. Exile. Sure. Not really gonna matter. Now we'll just put it on the butler. It has to be our graveyard. I'm trolling, but it, again, did not matter. We had enough regardless. Down. And down. Okay, there might have been a way to do it last turn. It's just like a lot of inexperience for me, like trying to figure out how to do it. I think his combo's kind of also easier in paper because you can kind of like pick up the cards, move them around, and just kind of like think on it for a turn. Honestly, when you do something like this in paper, especially in your locals, a lot of people actually help you do it because they're like, yeah, you're doing something crazy, let's do it. Wow. Me for the future again. That was painful to watch. I hope you all enjoyed it. I sure didn't, and I'm leaving it in anyway. Because, you know, sometimes pain is the best way to grow. On to the next one, I suppose. Opponent is first. My hand's like pretty fine. We'll keep. Barreling. Sure. I'll take more roots, especially when I'm potentially barreling right into a counter spell. Never mind. Wide open. You got for me. I know. Oh, I'm getting comboed. Okay.
With the right tools, I can do anything. Thanks. I'll be taking that now.
Well, I have a play, which sucks for them. I have Agatha's Soul Cauldron, which means if they try to target, I can remove it. So I have to play a Surveil land, which does kind of suck. Cauldron can go. I already have 2 in hand. I play a Cauldron. Then I pass. Now they play land. They activate Kaido. They discard a Breach the Multiverse. They try to bring it back, and then I exile it in response. You can exile anything, correct? A loot. Might have to play the game the hard way, opponent. You might have to hard cash your stuff. Which is a little tough for you, for sure. A little unfair, if you would. Now, the thing is, the card's instant speed, so I cannot tap the Cauldron at any point, like, on their turn. Because if they discard something good, And I tap this, say, to exile a creature out of my yard to make my roots good. Really bad. Sure. They have it. They want to do it. Will they go for it? My turn? Oh yeah. You are 100% held prisoner right now. I'm not budging an inch. Roots. This one. Target itself. Pass. Turn. I'm not budging. No way. You are here with me permanently. It's so messed up.
Now, what do we have?
Realistically, they need to find a collector's vault and then try to do it on my end step, and then they can do it on their turn. That's what they need to set up. Whether they do that or not, who knows? I should just shut my mouth. I don't have a creature though. That kind of sucks. Now, I can exile something. That's pretty cool. You want to Trax's ability? I mean, realistically, I'm doing this to make this bigger. Maybe they're thinking, oh, he will tap out and do it. Nah, I won't. Ha, I'm good. I like not losing to that. Combat. Attacks. We can stop him from doing the infinite combo too. It's not like technically infinite, but like kind of basically is. Still 3. There we go. Now I can actually do some stuff. The thing that I can do if they do make enough, because they'll have enough mana to cast a Breach next turn if they have another land. They did discard one, which I would assume they have enough. They take a loot here. They'll discard, they'll make a treasure, and then they play land, they cast a Breach. And then they can kind of like do the combo once, but with Breach on the stack for the second time, I will then exile the card I need to. The creature with Exploit on it. And sure, they'll get like an Atraxa, they'll get like a lot of stuff, they'll pull stuff out of our yard. But it's very possible with that play that they actually lose the game, which is crazy. Because if they start pulling stuff out of my yard, like with that play, then my roots are going to trigger and stuff like that. So they discarded land. Reenact was discarded. So here we go. Knew this was coming. That is fine. They hit the thing. They hit a Jace. They hit a Conspiracy. They can bring back an Atraxa. I would have to imagine Atraxa is what comes back here. Could be Conspiracy if they have another good card in hand. But they should decline. I feel like they should decline on mine because they're just helping me really at the end of the day. L3. Sure. Again, if they do anything, I'm going to allow it. The only thing I'm stopping is their combo piece. It's the only thing I'll stop. They'll exploit it. They'll try to bring it back with something. If they put a Breach in their hand, they'll try to bring it back. And then I'm just going to let it happen. Did I hit my other Thrill Seeker? If I hit other Thrill Seeker, they're kind of dead on the spot. But I did not. You have it. It's kind of crazy against this deck. It's just like one graveyard exile spell and you put them in a like it's so frantic. Again, do I care? How many cards they have in their yard? Oh yeah, they have way too many. Sure, go for it. You do. There's a Jace, there's a Tyvar. This Jace to try to stall me. Still no Thrill Seeker in there. 2. They mill 3.
It's not a victory.
That's not returning anything. They were looking to hit the piece, I think. It's still in their deck, which is absurd. Now, if they go for the, like, breach play or something, like they try to reenact again, I'll then exile because I have to this time. I don't really have a choice. Oh, they waited too long. It's my turn, like, automatically, I think. It means, do I want to activate this cauldron? Is that actually what's happened here? I think I actually get to respawn here, and they don't get to do anything because they took too long. It is. They took too long, so they don't get a response. Yep. Very sick. Here. Do I have any way to bring anything back? I guess I can Frill Seeker, sack it, exile it, and then shoot him to death. Yeah, I could do that. Okay, I was pretty sure I had lethal on the board. So block 7. Oh yeah, I had super lethal on board. Okay, I could have just did it, but I was trying to think, like, what's a way that we get this out of our hand? And I forget that these don't tap for green. They tap for any color for whatever reason. So I can just actually cast this with these, sack it, fling it, Agathist, exile it, and then all these will have that ability on it. And then I'm just like, hey, one, shoot you for a ton, because like it'll move from the graveyard. So this will be 10 power. I'm just one, shoot you, one, shoot you. And I was kind of, the reason I was thinking about it, this is like one of those learning things for me personally, is like, it's very obvious that I win here. But what happens if the situation's much tighter than this? Like, what if these 5 creatures aren't here, right? Then attacking through is not more likely. Like, these are all the way down to 4 counters and stuff. Like, what's a play that I can make with this board state that I can still pull the game out? And that is play this, put counters on it, like shoot it, Agatha Soul Cauldron, exile it from the yard, and then just try to shoot them down that way. And you just play that way to make sure that in the future we know what to do. But very cool. His hand's nuts while simultaneously sucking. Come on. I mean, we just have to. There's just like no keeping that hand. Keep. Probably a card we won't be able to really cast here. Blue-white control. Roots can be pretty devastating against this deck. Get a Might down. Why not? It can't get lost, my roots. I can also counter it, I guess. Force you to have it. No! You're nuts. You're so... Listen, I understand playing negate sometimes, but in best of one, I feel like playing negate's insane. Sure? Uh-huh.
Become subdued.
Well. That lane go. I'm another roots. I got my opponent want to punch the wall. Oh, I'm dead. Never mind. I'm punching the wall. I'm a big wall puncher guy. And now they mill me. Weird. I mean, I get it, but also weird. Is this permanent from the one milled? Yeah. Ivar.
This will take a thrilling tale. Rally, my friend.
Oh boy. Well, we let this go in the yard. We keep the Might because the Might can exile the lockdown. Seed of Hope. Have the Might back. We should have enough mana to pay for a counter spell here. Tyvar, Jace, will you mill or plus? You plus. Okay. Just going to take out Tyvar. Fantastic. good. Maybe they have another lockdown. Who knows? Real issues. I don't have a whole lot going on. Never mind. I'm nuts. Now they could sunfall me and everything, which is definitely a more devastating track. That's for sure.
Today we carve our deeds into history.
I mean, at the end of the day, like, I'm losing the lockdowns regardless for the most part. Oh boy. Roots, trigger. I'll just pass. Pass. The reason we're kind of passing here is I don't want to overcommit because of the way that like Sunfall will work here. Is this going to be a mill for a draw? If you could miss Sunfall, oh, you're just hard milling me. Sure. I have 26, so if they're planning to play another Jason, then draw 3. Could in theory kill him here, I think. It's only a theory. A game theory. How sad are we, boys? Man, really just like going for the big mill plan, huh? They're like, if you kill me from here, you kill me from here, I guess. Yeah. Land? This one? I don't think I can get there, but I don't think it's enough, but I mean, we gave it the best shot we could. This is just another Jace mill. I think the only real downside about this version of the deck is like you don't have a ton of things in the graveyard. Like I used to play the fairy, right? We win that game. Wow. All right. Well, I was editing the video and I noticed that it was pretty bad, so I'm going to redo the outro. And my gameplay was not very clean. I mean, that happens sometimes when you play these kind of combo decks, these like weird, awkward kind of combo decks. I need to click this so I know where it's at. But in my kind of remake games where I was going to try to play other games and maybe win, loss, whatever, just play better and hopefully kind of showcase the deck. But that was impossible for me to do. I played against Control 2 times in a row, which is like kind of whatever. That's like a whatever matchup. I was on the draw for both of them. I then played Boros Convoke 4 times in a row, just back to back on the draw for every single one of those. And then I played against Esper, the Esper mid-range deck, in which I found myself on the draw again and just got tempoed out of the game. So I'm done playing for right now. I don't want to play another game. Like I'm losing my mind. I'm just like queuing up on the draw, and then my opponent counters my turn 2 play every time if they're playing any amount of control. Or it's Convoke, they have the nuts, and I'm dead by turn 4. By the time I put an Insidious Roots in play, and then I die. And it's just not fun, to be honest. Best of One has been like this for a while. And I just don't know why. Apparently the format's balanced. Nothing needs adjusted whatsoever. I think everything's perfectly okay. And now that I'm done complaining, let's talk about the deck. This deck is super sick. I think we do benefit a lot more being in the best of 3 format, as you can kind of see in the sideboard how bad certain matchups can truly be as we bring in 3 Nightclubbers and things like that with Soul Guide, Lanterns, Terra Sunder, Assassin's Trophy, Liliana, because like Assassin's Trophy don't really care that much as long as you just like destroy the thing that they're trying to stop you with. Temporary Lockdown's like another good target for this, kind of why we play it. But then you have Duresses to kind of stop them. We play 4 of them and all that. So, very cool. And I think Soul Guide Lantern, which is actually interesting, by the way, we can exile a card from our graveyard, too, to trigger the roots and whatnot if we kind of just need that little bit extra help. But other than that, I mean, realistically, this card's super sick. I love this card. I think it's super fun. But other than that, I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna take a break and I'm gonna try to devent. So that's pretty cool. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Thanks for watching and goodbye.